Okay, so let me know if this has happened to you. You've come to your site for the first time of the day, or you've navigated through your site and you refresh and you see that blue board at the top of the page. Now that's the SharePoint Ribbon Bar, and there's really nothing we can do to remove that ribbon from the site. It's there for Akumina sites and really any other application that sits on top of SharePoint. You're always going to see that ribbon bar. Again, I can kind of show it right there for this. It's always going to be there because, again, the SharePoint runtime needs to happen before the framework loads. And then from there, we can, again, build our awesome experiences on top of SharePoint right there. Again, one more time, reload. That's gross. Okay, so we can't remove it, but there's a lot of things we can do to hide the SharePoint ribbon in plain sight, if you will. And it starts with a couple steps that you can do. The first thing we're going to do is actually make that ribbon the same color as our Akumina site ribbon. Again, in this case, it's a dark gray. You may have a green site, a purple site, a blue site, whatever it is, a white site. You can make this ribbon look the same, so when it loads on the page, you don't notice that drastic change between the default color with the SharePoint and the Akumina color that you have on your site that way. So to make that change, we got to be a SharePoint tenant admin to do that. I'm going to click on my waffle over here. I'll go to admin right there. And from here, I'm going to make a couple changes for this. I'll click on show all. I'll click on settings, org settings, organization profile, and then custom themes. When I come here, I have one theme on this site. You may have more than one. I'm going to change the default theme on the site. So I'm going to click on it. I'll click on colors right there. And here are those colors that we saw in the ribbon by default. So what I'm going to do is actually change the colors from the blue colors to, again, the dark gray and the light gray that I use on the current site right there. Okay, swap them out. Again, these ones don't meet that contrast ratio, but in the site, we're going to look past it. But in your site, you might want to make some updates if you need to for that one. I'll do a quick save. And now when I go back to my site, I'm going to actually open it one more time. You can see I had that little blue blip by default, but now if I refresh my page, you won't see that blip anymore. Again, and now it's going from the dark gray to the dark gray. And again, if I could even toggle between the SharePoint ribbon and my site ribbon, you really don't even notice a difference anymore, which is awesome because, again, it's making it a little bit simpler to have the loading experience be like that. So that's the starting point. That's, I think, a big change for the site. But there's some other things we can do as well. So to make some of the changes, I'm going to click on my gear again. I'm on the SharePoint ribbon side of it right now. I'm going to click on my gear over here, and I'll click on change the look. So now there's some settings we can make on this site collection that can provide a better experience for the site that way. So the first thing we can do is on the header side of it, I'm going to change the default compact layout right there to be minimal. Again, not a huge change. I think the minimal will show less text on that page load right there. You'll notice though, when I change it to minimal, my CSS might need to be tweaked a little bit to bump this down a bit. I'll make that change a little bit, not a huge deal there. And again, you might not even be using a site like this. So again, maybe a little bit different on your side of it. The other thing we can do here is actually, make it so that we don't even show our title. So you'll notice that in a second. Again, it'll display my AK support for 8._2. Again, very simple change right there for that. And then the other thing I might want to do is, again, here are the default logos that I have in here. You might even have a custom one on your side of it. Again, we don't really use these on the Akumina side of it. So actually I'm going to change this from the default one to actually be a transparent square. And what I'm doing there, it's because now, no matter what, it's never going to show that image on the page. And I'll do the same thing for the site logo for this guy as well. So transparent square, good to go there. And then I come back over here. The last thing we could do on the look item right there is in the navigation. Again, we're not using the site navigation, the managed navigation that you have within SharePoint. So let's not even display it on the site. That's going to reduce some things that get added by accident usually to the site navigation. So we don't really need any more. So now that I have those changes done, I'll click on save. And now, once that's saved, I'll do a refresh one more time on my page. You can see now, it didn't even seem like anything even happened when I refreshed my page. And oh, let me fix this guy right there. And now there you go. Again, everything looks awesome. If I navigate through my site, I'm going to see a great experience this way. And again, even if I do a refresh and I forget that I even show my SharePoint ribbon anymore, get another refresh. Again, looks awesome. You don't even notice that we're seeing those types of things loading on the page that way. So again, hopefully this was helpful to show you how you can make a couple little tweaks to have a better loading experience for your site. Thanks again. My name is Dan O'Neill with Akumina, and I look forward to hearing any comments you might have on this one. Thanks again.